Hi there, my name's Jim, this is my shed and you're welcome to it. Well, hello there, welcome back. Don't know if you can hear in the background, well I'm pretty sure you won't be able to miss it. Bloody rain, it's absolutely chucking it down again. Middle of July, I do not know what is going on, it's just awful. I suppose the plants will be happy, but I'm certainly not. I do need to apologise in advance for the next month, because I'm going to be very light on videos. What with school holidays coming up and, you know, looking after the little darlings and all that, I'm really not going to have time to get anything done, so I think a few trips planned and all that. So yeah, I might be able to get it done in the middle of the month, but I suspect I won't do anything for pretty much till towards the end of August, so it'll be a month without any videos out. So I do apologise for that, for all of my enormous 96 subscribers. I'm sure you'll all be very disappointed to hear that. Again, last video did better than before, so I guess the secret is always, I need to say, like and subscribe and, you know, hit buttons and tap whatever you want and comment and whatever you feel like. So I appreciated the comments actually, people asking about the rear beam. I will do a session on that, definitely. Maybe talk about a bit of suspension design in more general, if anyone might find that interesting. So that'll be something for a future date. But as I've not got much done this month, as I say, only stripped the engine, I thought I'd take this opportunity to just go over what I found when I stripped the engine. You know, a bit of Peugeot cost cutting here and there, which are the things I'm going to have to remedy. The good bits I found, good things and bad things, and just general plans for various bits of the engine. So no disasters, just something that might be of interest, as I've got very little actual footage of me doing anything this couple of weeks. So yeah, as usual, I'll stop rambling and I'll just say let's crack on. I did want to actually use that front engine mount because it would have been easier to make a mount to go from you know, the car to that part, but having looked at how heavy and overly engineered it is, I thought there's no way I'm fitting that, so in the bin it goes.
I thought once I'd undone it I'd be able to get the chain off the oil pump, but no, it turned out that I have to take the front cover off first, so this was a bit fruitless. I was a little alarmed at how easy that front pulley bolt came out. I seem to remember them being a lot tighter than that in the past. I learned from bitter experience never to degrease chains and things that come off engines. Rover V8 engine I built years ago, I fully degreased the chain and it went on the dyno and the chain would not shut up, it would not lubricate again. So yeah, chains and things always just go straight in a bag so they stay oiled and don't get any crap on them. And oil squirters go in the bag with the chain. They're another part that I don't degrease. Although that being said, before I refit them, I will make sure they're all squirting and they're not seized up, because that does happen from time to time. So this is a bit of a plea for help really. Before I can dummy this lot in the car, in the engine bay, I need to sort out this engine mount. Now, try as I might, I have not been able to find the correct mount for a BE gearbox on a TU engine. So every one I've bought, it says it's for a Berlingo 1.6 16 valve, for a Zara. They all say it should be for that car, it should be the right one, but they all come up with the TU and the MA on them, and it just does not, obviously doesn't line up with the miles out, so that's, you know, doesn't line up. So if anyone has got any ideas about the correct lower engine mount that takes with the drive shaft that will line up to the BE gearbox to go on a TU engine, if anyone's got any ideas, please let me know, because otherwise I'm gonna have to make one, which will mean dummying up the shaft in place, cutting this about and getting it all to line up. So I'd rather not do that, because there obviously is millions of them floating around. I just can't find them. So if anyone knows the correct lower engine mount, engine stroke drive shaft mount that'll line up with the BE, please let me know. Thank you very much. And actually, while I'm here, I thought I'd just point out a little bit of my stupidity. Anyone remembers back to when I put the gearbox together and this cover was on loose, I bought the RTV to seal this up, went to bolt it on and realised that when I got rid of all the other gearbox bits, I threw out all the M7 bolts that hold this cover on. So still can't do that. The new bolts are on order, but obviously M7's not something I have laying around, so I've ordered 10 M7 by 15 bolts to put that on. But yeah, what an idiot, eh? I kept the 4.3 crown wheel and pinion, but not the nuts and bolts I needed.
So since I recorded my last bit, the nut bolts turned up for the rear cover for the gearbox, but I'm not going to do that now. I can't be bothered. I'm just going to natter about the bits we've got. Right, so you can see here, I've got the block mocked up on the gearbox. I was trying to figure out what angle to have it sitting in the car at, because the oil pump pickup doesn't quite match up. Sorry, it goes that way around. The bottom of the sump, you can see here, so the bottom of the gearbox and the bottom of the sump mean it's all at the same angle. You see that angle there, that's the same. So if I sat it flat, had this face flat with the bottom of the car, then the angle of the oil pump is not quite right, but it's close enough that I'm not going to fuss about it. So I'm basically going to put this in the car, that flat and the gearbox flat, with basically with the level with the bottom of the subframe. So that's my datum. I will then baffle, because this is a nice big open sump, so you're going to get plenty of oil sloshing around in there. So I'll make a baffle plate that goes all the way around here, maybe a small lip along the back as well, but certainly a big lip here to stop oil going up this end, and then a nice baffle plate around here. And then that will give room, because I'm not having exhaust going underneath, so I haven't got to leave room here for any exhaust. Means I can put the turbo oil return on here, so it will drain just below the baffle, and it'll just give you a nice, be nice and out of the way. So there definitely won't be, I mean, the front silencer is going to be somewhere here, so there will give me plenty of room to get my oil return pipe down onto there. So I think that all works quite nicely. I'm quite pleased that angle, those angles match up, because it's all nice and flat. The main oil drains for the engine are also at the front, so tilting it forward slightly more than it might be in the normal installation won't matter, because the oil will still drain back. And there is another oil drain here, because I built a 1100 Golf turbo years ago. No, 13, it was a 1300, but the smaller engines, Golf, Mark 1 Golf, years ago. And that just had two drains here, which actually linked into one. So it was one drain about, I don't know, 1/2 inch by 3/4 of an inch. That was the total drain. And that used to basically, under boost, obviously the crankcase compression went up, tried to pump the oil out the engine, so I filled up the head, and the oil just used to come pissing out the head. But obviously this one's got more drain capacity at the front and the one at the back, so you shouldn't have any problems like that. And it also have the extra drain from the turbo. Yeah, so I think that's sump and block. I haven't got to do anything particularly clever with any of that. The head was quite interesting when I pulled that apart. I didn't really show it when I was stripping the engine, but I could not figure out how to get the, no, that's the wrong side. Could not figure out how to get the inlet manifold off. And I was thinking there must be, I couldn't see the fixings that I thought would be there, and there, and they just weren't there. Which is why I cut half the manifold off, spent looking around for things, and you can see there's gaps here when there's even holes in the gasket where there obviously were fixings, and they've just decided that that flange is stiff enough that it doesn't need them. So when I make my inlet manifold, I will have to drill into that part and put extra studs in there to hold the manifold. Well, maybe I don't have to, but I'm going to, because it just it looks like it needs them, so I'm going to fit them. The valves on this don't look overly large. I must say the exhaust especially, I mean the inlets are fine. They're quite a reasonable size, but the exhausts do look very small. So when I strip the head down, I'll have a look and see how much room we've got on the inlet, on the insert, and see if there's any possibility of cutting that in. I'm not going to put new inserts in or anything like that, because that just starts to add up too much money. But if we can cut bigger valves onto those seats, and if there's any bigger valves available, yeah. I know for what I'm doing, I probably don't need to change anything. It'll probably be fine. Just nice, 3-angle valve seats, open up the throats a little bit, and they'll be fine. But as I say, if there is an easy fix to put some bigger exhaust valves in, I think I will. But other than that, these are quite nice, sturdy, chunky heads. So again, nothing really special there. So it'll just be make an inlet manifold, port these out. Oh, hang on, what's that? Don't want to leave that in there. Yeah, just port these out to match the manifold, and then on the exhaust side doesn't really need anything special. They're nice, quite nice ports. So yeah, it's a nice head really. Oh, it's heavy. That's the only thing I don't like. It's bloody heavy. I'm really annoyed. The alley block engine I made was just, you know, pick the whole thing up easily. This is going to weigh an absolute ton, but there you go. Oh yeah, rods and pistons. Now, the negative here is that on this engine it's got hasn't got fully floating rods, so the rods are press fit in the con rod, and that's what locates them. But the pistons themselves are actually quite nice. You know, they're quite short. They've got decent enough ring lands. They're quite, you know, I've seen much smaller ring lands than that, so should reasonable detonation resistance, and they're quite chunky. They're quite a nice sturdy design, so I'm quite happy with those. And combined with the oil squirters that are in the block, I think that'll be perfectly adequate for what we're doing. I think fundamentally they're just a nice, you know, strong, standardish piston. So I'm quite happy with that. It's good. And the rods, just normal fare. I mean, they're not. People are going to say things like, "Oh, the rods are only good for 200 horsepower and all that," but that's absolute. Anyone tells you that, they're talking absolute rubbish. Horsepower and maybe torque, we'll go in different question, but horsepower does not kill rods. Okay, RPM is the only thing that kills rods, unless you're running so much boost that the rod physically gets squashed this way. But these have got a reasonable section that way and that way. I mean, if you look at Mitsubishi rods, you know, the 4AG, that's Toyota engine, what is it, the 4G16, is it? The Evo engine, can't remember. Anyway, an Evo engine, look at those rods. They are just the spindliest things you've ever seen. So it's no wonder you need stronger rods on those. But these are more than chunky enough for what we're doing. I can't imagine, I mean, I know they'll take the revs, certainly. And looking at the section, I can't imagine them getting bent very easily under boost. So, yeah, again, quite happy with that. So set of new rod bolts, clean them up, set of new rings, and yeah, they'll be good to go. So nice and easy. And the last bit I think we need to look at is the crank. So the standard crank is a, you know, again, nice, fully counterweighted, long stroke crank. I'm going to downgrade the engine with a manky old 1400 crank. There we go. So less counterweights. I might even take a bit of weight off it, get it a bit lighter, because it does look quite chunky when you put it next to that now. But goes straight in, shorter stroke, so the engine will go from 1600 down to 1500 cc. And the fact that the pistons will now be coming 2 millimeters lower down in the bore means the compression ratio will be somewhere around 8:1, which is, you know, pretty much in the ballpark. So there we are. Should really weigh them and see what the difference in weight is. Oh, it's a lot lighter. There's a lot, yeah. But I'll measure the diameter of it. This is significantly bigger. I don't think it is. No, I think it's all the same. It just hasn't got the webs. It makes it look different. It hasn't got the extra webs. So yeah, there we are. There's all the parts. So engine, I'll be able to get on with that, and that'll be quite exciting stuff. So what do we think? So what do you think indeed? This video wasn't great. I mean, I'm quite pleased with how it came out, to be honest, with the amount of content I could actually put together, even though all I literally did was strip the engine and then bolt the gearbox onto the engine on here. But you know, it's quite good looking at the engine when it all comes apart like that, because until you've actually got it, you don't, you know, you're not sure what you're working with. But it's all lovely. So yeah, that'd be good to get on with when I come back from my my summer break. Thinking about it, I think I will do the talk about the beam next. So seeing as I won't be able to get out in the shed too much, I should just be able to get out to do a talk. So I think the next episode will just be me talking about the rear beam, how I put it all together, what the idea behind it was. Then maybe go over, you know, suspension design with roll centers and center of gravity heights and how they all interact and all that sort of thing. So maybe I'll get the whiteboard out and we'll go over that, but definitely talk about the rear beam anyway. So I think I'm just not going to rabbit on too much today. I'm not going to bore you with my thoughts on things. Although saying that, President Trump being assassinated, what a turn up that was. And it certainly let the mask slip, didn't it, from plenty of people who are saying, or, you know, shame they missed and all that. You know, what does that say about you when you think murdering your political opponents is a suitable way of getting ahead at the ballot box? Absolutely mind-blowing. You know, call him Mega Hitler for years and years, and then you're surprised that someone tries to shoot him. So it's absolutely disgusting. But that's the way politics is at the moment. It's just the division. To my mind, it's all coming from one side. I won't say what that is. I think what I've said will pretty much tell everyone what I think about that. But anyone who says, oh, it's a shame they missed, you need to have a bloody good look at yourself, because you're definitely on the wrong track. You just think where that line of thinking leads you, and it's really dangerous and very, very silly. Anyway, there you go. That was almost serious, wasn't it? Bloody hell. Right, so I will just say, cheers, good health. I'll see you in a couple of weeks, but hope you have a good summer, and hope the weather's a bit better. Fingers crossed, eh? Cheers. See you soon.